Right, so okay, so we're going to look at progress, hesitancy, normal road position. I know we haven't done it on a one-to-one before, but you have actually sat in the back while it's been done.
Yeah.
Just to give you an overview of it, progress-wise, I can either go too fast for the conditions or too slow. I won't do both, yeah? Position-wise, I can either go too far to the right or too far to the left. I won't do both, yeah? Hesitancy is either a lack of judgment or a lack of preparation.
Right.
Do you know what lack of preparation means?
Not being in the right gear at the right time.
Yeah, not slipping in the first gear. Not being ready to go, traffic lights and so forth, yeah? So do you feel alright to go straight into it?
Yes, let's give it a go.
Yeah?
Let's give it a go.
Right, so I'll give you the scenario that I've got a test coming up in about 10 days time, yeah?
Okay.
And my instructor's gone off playing golf today, and you're filling in for him because you've got the same car, yeah?
Right.
Yeah?
Okay.
Right, and I'll leave it to you to go from there.
Right, okay. When you approach a junction, how do you normally try and time your arrival at the junction? Say a roundabout, if you come up to a roundabout, what's your normal method of approaching a roundabout?
Oh, I'll try and see if I can get an early view and carry on through.
Yeah, and if there's a car coming, you would match your arrival to be just in front or behind it if you could, rather than trying to arrive at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's very good. That way, it will save you having to stop at that junction if you don't need to. Well, if we just make a start then and see how we go, and we'll take it from there.
Yep.
How do you know your mirrors are set correctly?
I've just set them up.
Yeah, and what can you see out of them?
Alright. That's the same answer to you. I can see, I can frame the back window and I can see the edge of my headrest and the edge of yours. And I can see 10% car and the rest down the road, and 10% car and the rest down the road.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
Okay. What were you doing in your last lesson that you had?
We've just been running through the different subjects. Did a bit of everything really. And we're going to turn left.
And then left into this right place. What's your speed limit down this bit of road?
30, isn't it?
30. And how fast are you travelling here at the moment?
About 15.
Do you think that's suitable for the road we're in? Yeah.
I want to show the examiner that I'm a really cautious driver. I'm not a boy racer.
Right, okay then, yeah. So with that school there and being on the corner, I'd agree with the speed you was doing there. But now we've got a bit of a wider road, we could probably do about 20-25 along here. If you go too slow, what will be the consequence of going too slow for the road conditions?
I don't know really.
What do you think people might get impatient if they was behind you?
Would they?
Well, they could well get impatient, and what would happen if they got too impatient?
I suppose they might stick their fingers up at me.
Yeah, and what else might they be tempted to do?
Now we're going to turn back.
And then turn left here, please.
I don't know really.
Well, it's possible they try and overtake you, and it might be in a dangerous position. Yeah, and cause an accident. Yeah, can you see that?
No, I suppose so, yeah.
Right, you're a little bit close to the centre line there, Tony.
Right. No, position's alright. Yeah.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay. What's the speed limit down this section of the road?
30.
And what are you doing?
About 27.
Alright. Just getting paranoid now. You're a little bit close to that line on that corner. How would you normally position yourself when you're driving? How would you know?
Now we're going to turn left. I haven't actually made a mistake with my position yet.
Oh, well, I thought it was a little bit closer than that corner as you went round. That was all. little bit hesitant there. What you could have done as you approach that corner was to put it into first gear.
Yeah, it is actually a blind corner there, though.
Yeah, but you could still be in first gear ready to go, couldn't you? Speed limit down this bit of road.
Yeah, 30.
30. So you could go a little bit faster here, couldn't you? 'Cause it's quite wide and there's no pedestrians around. So you could just pick up a little speed.
Brake hard bumps. Speed back up again. And then
What's your reason for braking hard for the speed bumps?
well, my instructor told me to keep the speed of about 20 mile an hour between the speed bumps.
I believe it's a 30 mile an hour road limit. You should be able to drive over these at nearer 30.
I can if you want, but your head's going to be hitting the roof.
Oh, yeah.
Now we're going to turn left.
Turn left here, please.
Yeah, just coming out of road where you got speed bumps. You should keep a constant speed. You shouldn't be speeding up between them. Yeah.
Right. And it's a no trying to go in between them, isn't it? Even if they were designed where you could.
Well, I'm still going to have a wheel running over each of them, aren't I?
Yeah. Oh, so really you should be just decelerating down to 25, 30.
Now we're going to turn right.
Then turn right, yeah.
Well, I'll keep a constant speed of 20 where the speed bumps are, and then I'm not having to make any change in the speed, am I?
No, true. That's very good there, Tony. You didn't actually stop at that roundabout. We managed to pull straight round. What's the speed limit down this section?
30.
30. How do you know it's 30?
Outside the road time.
Yeah, and also you've got lampposts
Yeah.
without any speed limit signs.
I can touch you.
True. You're a little bit over to the right there, Tony. Do you know how you position yourself? How would you gauge to be in the centre of the lane here?
You want to sort that out while I'm sitting on the white line, or
Oh, just move over, steer towards the middle a little bit.
that's a bit lucky, isn't it?
It certainly was lucky. Okay, how do you decide when you're in the centre of this lane as you're going along? How would you work that out?
No, I'm just winging.
Okay, can you see along the road we've got what they call like tram marks, where you've got the road worn where tyres go along it and you've got a slightly darker section in the middle?
Alright.
Yeah, if you can position yourself over the with your tyres in what they call the tram lines, then that would get you roughly in the centre of that lane.
Yeah, I never use them because where I lived, the roads have just been all tarmac, so we haven't got any at the moment.
Oh, right, okay. There's another way of doing it, and that's if you check just glance in your left wing mirror, your left door mirror and your right door mirror, and you can position yourself roughly halfway, make yourself even between the centre line and the edge of the road.
Alright.
So if you just glance in there and balance the car up so you're about equal distance from either, that's another way of doing it. Come over a little bit towards me there, Tony. And just try glancing in the mirrors and balancing yourself like that when we get to a straight section. You should be able to see if you're closer to the curb or closer to the lines, yeah? A little bit more towards me. Just check those mirrors, can you see?
Yeah.
Is that working for you by checking?
Yeah, I'm probably still going to keep going back out again, aren't I?
Right, okay. What's your speed limit out here, Tony?
National.
National speed limit, okay. You're a little bit to the left, it's just going over those lines again.
Yeah, there's got to be a reason why I'm going over a barrier, isn't there?
Yeah, is that not working for you, checking the door mirrors?
That's helped, yeah.
The other thing we can do if we find a quieter road is we can stop and work out a reference point, and that will guide you where the curb is, where it cuts into the front.
Yeah, I'd still be wandering over. Even if you get me looking well ahead. And
oh, well, that was the next thing, was to get you. If you look ahead, your arms tend to steer where you're looking.
Now we're going to turn right.
And then turn right here, please. So look into that road before we go, make sure it is clear to go. Well, it's just going off something now, isn't it? A little bit over to the left there, Tony. You're right in the middle of that lane.
Come on, Barry. Rack your brain. Why do I carry on going back out again?
Consequences. Right, okay. What's the consequence of driving along too far to the right-hand side of the road there, Tony?
I don't know, Barry. You tell me.
What could happen if a car came the other way, perhaps also doing the same sort of thing, if he couldn't quite judge?
Oh, I suppose you might clash door mirrors.
You could clash door mirrors. It could be rather nasty, couldn't it? And that's why it's quite important to stay on your side of the road, away from that white line.
Took you a bit of a while to get to that one.
Oh,
didn't
it did. Yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah. Yeah, I was so intent on the reasons of how I could get you to do that, I just totally forgot about the consequences.
And we're going to turn left, please.
And then left here, please. Right, if we'd approached that in first gear, we would have been ready to go. We wouldn't need you to have stopped for quite so long. And being in first gear, moving slowly, if we could see it was clear, then we could have just pulled round. The consequence of that is, if the car behind you, what would happen if the car behind could see that road was clear and was following behind you?
He might take his horn at me.
He might do, see, or he might be looking to the right and carry on, assuming you'd carry on. So the consequences of that would be what? You're stopping looking for a at the empty road.
Yeah, it wouldn't be my fault though, would it?
It wouldn't be your fault, but it's still an inconvenience, isn't it, if a car rams into the back of you?
I suppose he might overtake me, mightn't he?
It could overtake you as well. But the going into the back of you is a bit of a worse consequence, or what's more of an inconvenience.
Well, if he overtakes me and it's an oncoming car, it's going to be a pretty bad inconvenience.
It's going to be an inconvenience. Yeah, whatever happens, it could turn out bad.
And we're going to turn left.
And then left here, please.
Yeah, so you can give me all the help in the world, but if you don't come up with them consequences, and the clue is that the error is going to carry on happening, yeah?
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. I said about the tram lines, and I thought, well, I've told you about the...
Yeah, you could have gone through all four of them, and
that's right.
And I still would have been out there, yeah?
And my brain will wake up in a minute, I'm sure. I think it'd be number going around that M25. And what's your speed limit down this section of the road?
30.
And what speed are you driving at?
28.
So do you think you're happy now positioning the road? Have you learned now how to position yourself correctly?
Yeah. Now that I know the consequences, I'll be a little bit more alert to them.
Right, okay. What speed limit have you gone into now?
Oh, is it national?
It's a national speed limit now. So, and how fast are you going?
30.
Okay, so what could be the consequence of driving at 30 in a national speed limit road? Do you want to speed up, go a little bit faster? Take it up to say 50? And what's the consequences of driving slowly on a national speed limit road when it's safe to go faster?
I suppose that van behind might try and overtake me.
Yeah, and what could be the consequences of him overtaking you?
Well, if he hits that lorry there, there's not going to be much left, is there?
No, there certainly wouldn't be. Road positioning certainly quite good now.
Yeah. Yeah, I never thought of the consequences of meeting a vehicle in the middle of the road.
Yeah, well, you're just lucky you haven't then so far, aren't you, really? Probably a nasty shot.
Yeah, I'm just glad you woke up in time.
Lack of caffeine, I think.
Yeah.
Going back over it again, if you do look into the distance and your hands follow your eyes, you do tend to steer towards the centre of your lane as well.
Yeah, I find that helps. And at the roundabout, we're going to be turning left.
Okay, then turn left this roundabout, please. Approaching in second gear, we can go straight round if there's nothing coming. We don't really need to stop there. So we can try that at the next one as well. We'll just get ourselves nice and slow.
Is that bad?
Well, you don't need to stop because the consequences are, if the guy behind is looking and he can see the roundabout's clear, yeah, he could either overtake you and hit an oncoming car, or he could drive into the back of you.
What's that closest?
That's hesitation.
Oh,
Yeah, it's hesitation by stopping when you don't need to.
I thought I was coming up nice and quick. I'd get through there quick.
No, I think that if we can now slow down, put it into first gear.
First gear.
Yeah, you're okay there. Now move on because he's turning to the left. On some roundabouts, depending on the roundabouts or junctions, you can be in second gear, but just for the moment, we'll do that one in first. Obviously, if you was going uphill, you'd need first gear to pull away. Try and just
at the roundabout, we're going to turn right.
And turn right this roundabout, please. So what we'll do, we'll go a little bit slower as we approach the roundabout, and that gives us time to look for any traffic.
What do you mean by a bit slower?
Down to about 5 miles an hour, and for this run we'll put it in first gear. And then we'll look to the right and we decide if we have to stop. So we've had to stop there for that car.
Yeah, just coming out of roll. The words speed up a bit, slow down a bit.
When I said it, I thought I shouldn't have said that.
Total waste of time.
Yeah.
And we're going to turn left.
I need to turn left here, please. So again, have a good look to traffic from the right. We may not need to stop, so if you put it into second gear here, you can go straight around.
Second gear already.
Excellent. Yeah, some roundabouts you might need to move first, depending on how tight the junctions are.
That's what someone could use third, couldn't it?
Some you could do, depends on the size of the roundabout.
Yeah. So there's no blanket rule then?
There's no blanket rule. If it's a very large roundabout and it's totally clear, then yeah, quite often third gear's fine. You can, some roundabouts are so big you can be doing 30 miles an hour as you go into them and go around them. It depends on how good they are.
And at the roundabout ahead, we're going to be turning right.
And then we'll turn right at this roundabout here. So if we look across here, we can get an early view of any traffic here by just glancing across these fields. So if you put it into second gear now, just look to the right. Can you see it's clear? There's no car there at the moment.
A little bit less speed and now it's actually going there quicker, doesn't it?
That's right, yeah. So a little bit less speed, and also by just taking the advantage of looking across. You also find the same thing at T-junctions as well. If you can arrive a little bit slower, it saves you having to stop and then look.
Roundabout, we're going to follow the road straight on.
And then we'll follow the road straight on this roundabout. So again, reduce your speed before we get there. So come down to about 5 miles an hour now. put it into second gear. If we glance across to the right, yeah, can you see any cars coming?
You mean 10 mile an hour?
10 mile an hour, sorry. If you glance to the right, yeah, there's no cars. We don't actually need to stop. Yeah.
Yeah, be very careful you're not pulling my speed down way too low, yeah, because
Right.
otherwise it'll be pulling it right down the walking pace, won't it?
Well, I wasn't too sure what that how big the roundabout was actually when we reached it. I thought I'd rather slow you down and tell you to drive it at 10 or 15 miles an hour when it was a little bit fast.
And we're going to follow the road straight
And
on.
then follow the road here. So again, glance to the right. As long as our signalling helps us. Yeah, so if you, by reducing your speed and having early observation, it'll save you having to stop at junctions, and that also aids your fuel economy because you'll burn less fuel by having to keep stop-starting. Oh yeah, should have been in first gear there, sorry. Yeah, so the general rule is when we're at traffic lights or anything like that, if you're in the first 3 cars, if you sit in first gear, when they change, that means you can pull away, you won't be hesitating. Okay. Once you're more than 3 back, you can generally leave it in neutral, and it gives you time for the lights to change.
Right.
Otherwise what will happen is the cars in front will pull away and there'll be a gap. But we can practice that the next time we stop at any lights.
And we're going to turn right in the roundabout.
And then turn right in the roundabout, please. So again, glance down there, there's no cars coming. And that saves us having to stop. Okay. Can you understand now the problems if you did stop and it was a totally clear road with the driver? What happens at roundabouts especially is drivers tend to be looking as well to see.
Yeah, I need to look and plan a bit earlier.
That's right, yeah.
And we're going to turn right.
And then turn right, please. It's more of a danger on larger roundabouts where you tend to approach them quickly. You tend to find the drivers behind are more intent on what's approaching the roundabout than what you're doing. Even though they shouldn't.
Yeah, I tend to approach them at 30 mile an hour and then I just stop.
Yeah, yeah. Well, a lot of people do that.
At
but,
the large roundabouts.
Yeah, but it saves your fuel economy if you don't need to stop. So you can just come down to say 5-10 mile an hour and if it's clear. Obviously depending on the junction.
Well, large roundabout.
But this is it depends on the junction. On, as I say, large roundabouts you can approach at 30 or 40 mile an hour. If you was on some of these large dual carriageways, they're almost motorway standard where you even might be doing 40 mile an hour. So it totally depends on the roundabout.
And we're going to turn right.
And then turn right, please. So again, if we look into there, put it in first gear, ready to go. And if it's clear, we can pull right and obviously watching out for pedestrians.
So how am I doing on this then?
You're on your positioning, you're okay. That's a lot better now. I think you've got that off okay. Just the hesitation at traffic lights and things we've just got to iron out, but that was my fault. I'll miss that.
And we're going to turn left.
And then turn left, please. I shouldn't have said anything there, should I? No. You start getting paranoid, don't you, thinking, should I say something? Okay, you're waving it through, so as long as you're happy that he's off subject again.
Yep. Yeah, we're going to turn left.
Then turn left here, please. Okay, so we can glance to the right, there's no one coming around, we don't need to stop. Yeah.
suppose I could have a go trying this myself now, since I've got my test coming up soon, couldn't I?
We could do, yes, yeah.
Yeah, it's one thing you want to try and remember is try and pass it back to me, yeah?
Yeah. Now there, should I say put the handbrake on when there's a pedestrian crossing in front? Or?
Yeah, I should have done what I was talking
Yeah, that's what I mean. I didn't want to go off something. Yeah. Okay, then, so if I hand this over to you now, you can see how you get on.
I'm going to turn left.
Then turn left here, please. We'll see how you get on with if you stop at any traffic lights or. I think your road positioning is fine. You've got that sorted out. We'll just have a look at the hesitation aspect.
Coffee to wake you.
Caffeine.
I put an apology on the video we done yesterday on pedestrian crossings, full licence holder. You asked me the sequence of the pelican lights.
Right.
I gave you the wrong answer. I would have corrected it because you said, yeah, I think that's right. But I didn't realise I'd given you the wrong answer until I watched the video, okay?
Oh, right, okay.
So I have put a little note on it underneath.
Right, okay.
So I have cocked it up, yeah? But you should have noticed it yourself.
I did assume you'd given the right answer, I must admit.
Yeah, obviously I didn't mean to give you the wrong answer, but I did give you the wrong answer. I told you the sequence of the pelican lights were green, amber, and then I said red and amber, and then green. Where after the red it should have been flashing amber, yeah?
Oh, right, yeah. I thought you said it on the pelican, you said it.
No, I gave the wrong answer.
Oh, right, sorry.
I was, yeah.
Obviously, I've heard you say the flashing amber bit, and thought, oh, right,